Let's talk about trick-taking games and try out some mobile recording gear at the same time. Welcome to Brains on Games. I'm Dr. Brian McDonald and I'm talking to you from the car today because I'm testing out some mobile recording gear. The reason I'm testing out this gear is that in March I'm heading to Breakout Con in Toronto. So I've got a big board game convention to go to. So I picked up a new wireless microphone and a tripod, and we're testing this thing out in the car while I'm running errands with my wife. So I thought I'd take the opportunity to not only test out the mic, but to also talk a little bit about trick-taking games. And the reason for that is that I just received, I think, half a dozen trick-taking card games in the mail. So I thought, why don't I do a general episode just explaining some of the trick-taking terminology, what that's all about, and then we'll talk a bit about a specific game that came to me in the mail not too long ago. I've talked about trick-taking games a lot on Brains on Games, and there are a couple of reasons for that. One is that they're one of my favorite kinds of games. They play quickly, they're easy to teach people, and I played them a lot when I was in university. So they have a nostalgic feeling for me. My kids like them too. They're just quick and easy. Often we might use them as fillers in between more complicated games if we're having people over for a game day. But I just love trick takers, and I have talked about them a lot on the show because there's something about them that's appealing to me, maybe in the same way that dexterity games are appealing. And trick takers are a whole genre of card games. And so each of those games is really trying to change something up or add something to make themselves stand out compared to other trick takers. So the trick taking game I used to play at school was Hearts. We always would play. It was Hearts and Cribbage were the two games we always played, and there would be Hearts tournaments that were posted on people's doors. So we did a lot of trick taking games, but Hearts is kind of a very basic one where you're trying not to win any tricks that have hearts in them. Trick-taking games typically require you to play one or more cards into the trick, and usually the highest card played will be the winner. Often there'll be a trump suit. One suit will be the one that wins the rest. It's more powerful than the rest of the cards. Sometimes suits are ranked, and you've got multiple cards that might be more powerful than the others, but usually the highest numbered card wins. Some trick-taking games are called must-follow trick takers, and that means that if you have a card in your hand that's the same suit as the one that's led, you have to play a card in that suit. If you don't, then you can play any card, and that's usually how the trump cards get played in those games. Part of what makes these games fun is that you can trap another player into getting cards that they don't want, forcing them to win more tricks maybe than they bid if you have a game where you bid on the number of tricks you expect to win. And of course, those games like Hearts, you don't want to win a trick with hearts in it. That's how you lose a game of Hearts. Some trick-taking games are must-not-follow trick-taking games, meaning that you can't play a card in a suit that's already been played. Potato Man was one of those, and that was a game where it was quite easy to trap players into playing cards that they didn't want to play, or to make sure that they couldn't play a card at all. Some trick-taking games are called climbers and shedders, meaning that you have to play a higher card or a higher combination of cards than the ones that are on the table in front of you. And the goal of a shedder is to get rid of all the cards in your hand. And that's usually how a round ends, when one player no longer has any cards that they can play. Usually then you'd start the next trick and count up the number of points. So sometimes you want to win more tricks, that's how you earn points. Sometimes cards have special abilities and you want to win cards, certain cards in the trick. Sometimes, like in Hearts, you really want to avoid a certain suit of cards. Now, the skills that you're developing when you play these trick-taking card games, card counting is super important in these trick-taking games. You need to remember what cards have been played in order to be able to estimate what cards are left that can be played, so that you kind of have some kind of a guesstimate of what cards are going to be available in the trick. So we're talking about visual memory, just remembering the images, the numbers on those cards that have been played, but also working memory. Working memory is that whiteboard where you're juggling information. And trick takers are so good at teaching kids how to evaluate probability and remember those cards that have been played in previous hands. Well, that's a little bit of a primer about the vocabulary in trick-taking games. Hopefully this walking motion isn't going to make everybody nauseous who's watching this video, and hopefully the traffic noise wasn't so loud that I got drowned out the entire time. So let me know how the sound was on this video. Let me know what you think. If you have any questions about the equipment or what I've been up to about trick takers, don't hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section below the video. Or of course you can email me at brian@brainsongames.ca. brainsongames.ca is the website. That's where future episodes will go. Previous ones are up there already. Brains on Games is the Twitter handle and the Facebook page and the Instagram feed, so we're all over the place. And if you enjoyed this video and you want to be notified of future ones, you can head on over to YouTube and click that subscribe button. Thanks for joining me, and hopefully I'll see you next time.